Eileo guys, and welcome back. Today we have Bijan. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm just going to call you B. Today we have their account review going on, and I just want to give a shout out to B as well because they've been working hard, and you guys might have noticed some minor changes to like thumbnails and stuff around the channel, and especially just my main channel homepage. Shout out to B for throwing me with an update for that, just to make it look a little bit more professional than it was before. So if you guys notice any thumbnail changes and stuff like that, of it looking more aesthetically pleasing, because I know that I'm not the best with that kind of stuff, definitely give your thanks to B, and of course Fennel for the opening. But anyways, let's go ahead and check with what B has going on here. B is only level 37, and they're working towards getting their Odin at level 45. So I'm going to go ahead and assume you're probably going to be early game, which is just a good assumption. It's usually in your late 40s to not even late 40s, but early 40s onwards that you're investing in B10 and stuff like that. But we're going to see what you're working with here. We'll start from the dark spectrum first though. Alright, so from your dark mons, you do have a dark Mona. No square slot on her, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. You could get the gem conversion slot on her. I mean, you could still put her on a siphon set, but depending on your other mons, there could be other mons that you could invest into, but we'll get there. But if you are going to invest in her, like use her, which I do recommend, you might need to get that gem conversion slot on her. Get her booked up when you can, and run crit rate attack on her. Since you don't have the gem slot, well, the square slot for her though, I would just do triple HP at the moment. I mean, not triple HP, but triple attack at the moment on intuition, and just let her do what she needs to do. But she's a pretty solid mon, so congrats on pulling her. Your Dark Gatito is only level Evo 2. Not the end of the world. He does have a square slot as well, and it looks like you have crit rate attack. So you're trying to build him, you just don't have the gems for him, but we can take care of that once this video is over with. Continue to build him. I'm not sure if you have any other Gatitos, but if you have at least 3 others, he could be worth the Gleam investment for you as a nuker, but who knows, he might end up coming back within 4 months anyways. So definitely hold off on him for now, but you have the correct idea for his gems. Just make sure you get that crit rate up. And then you have Dark Sea Star over here. You do have Dark Miho, which Dark Miho kind of triumphs her in every which way. And looks like you're just sticking gems on her just to fill that void. Definitely take all of these off. If you read her skills, she is a defense aggressor, so all of her stats scale from defense. If you want her to do more damage, keep her on intuition, but make sure this is triple defense. And get her booked up if you are going to get her to level 60, because it's worth it. And then your Dark Miho over here, she should be on triple HP. You have her with a defense gem and HP, so that one's probably just filling a slot, but broken gems aren't bad at all. You could give her that gem that gem instead. I'm not sure why people are so obsessed with gem slots. Well, not gem slots, but gem sets. If it works, it works. If you can't get it, you can't get it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt your mon in the long run of you having a proper gem set with a bad gem versus a broken set with wonderful gems. As long as the mon has what it needs, which for this case is triple HP, then she's happy. She can do her job. I mean, will one like maybe Jamin's do a better job at doing more damage? Yes, because it might have a proper gem set, but will it survive perfectly fine in PvE? But of course. So definitely get that changed as well. You do have a mini Sarah, but she's only Evo 1. I would not invest the gleams into her either. It's just not worth it. But it could be worth it. It could be worth building her within a month or two when the MSO anniversary comes back around. I'm sure she's going to be back, and I'm sure Tina's going to be back. So just hold off on her for right now. Just hold off. you should be pretty ready to farm them out when they do return. Then you have a Cosmos that you might have been building. You could run, what is it, like the triple Cosmos team? Cosmo team, not Cosmos, but triple Cosmo team that I see like Nestia had ran before. But I don't know. You have other mons for that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that Cosmo at the moment. Then Light Sea Star. You can use this for clan versus clan or PvP. She does need a square slot, which you do have on her, but HP, recovery, you're just throwing gems on her just to fill the slots out. I would just take them off. It's better to have no gems on a mon than just some random gems. But if you're going to invest in her, crit rate, HP defense, and make sure you get her booked up and level 60 as soon as possible if you're going to use her for that. But at the moment, I would not focus on clan versus clan, and I would not focus on PvP. We need you doing good in PvE first. Then your Light Vic, you have recovery, HP on her. Again, she's just the same as your Dark Kraken and your Dark Miho. Make sure you read the skill descriptions over here. If you're wondering, if you're still curious, definitely check out my videos for the mon reviews, and it'll give you the gem sets that I would recommend for those mons. Not actual gem sets, but the gems that a mon needs for it to perform the way it should be performing. Definitely get these HP gems off of her and this recovery gem off of her as soon as possible. She needs triple defense. You can keep her on the protection set, but she needs triple defense. And you should be using her for B10 unless we find something else in your repertoire for you to use as your main tank. But she will need to be Evo 3. She will need to be Evo 3. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Level 60, Evo 3, she needs at least 10k defense. Don't put HP gems on her. Don't put attack gems. Don't even put a crit rate gem on her right now. She needs defense in order for all of her stats to do what they need to do, because look, attack power becomes proportional to own max defense. It's there for you. It's there for you, man. We'll take a look at the wood ones. Wood Medusa, you probably just build that for Astro Gems, perfectly fine. You might have started investing in Tiger a little bit. I heard that he's pretty fun from the other account review that I did, so he could be someone worth keeping around at least for now. And he does have books. Wood Hana, again a Titans mon, but HP, attack, HP. You're just trying to fill in that void once again, just so you don't have any empty slots on these mons. Take that off. She needs HP defense recovery in my opinion, but don't worry about building her right now. You do got a Wood Sphinx. Not sure how you got him, but exposed weakness and unflinching strike. This right here is a Titans mon, but he's only Evo 1, so again, not worth the investment. Then your Wood Odin that you're working on getting to Evo 2. If you're going to use her at the moment, again, take these gems off. Do HP attack at the moment and keep her on Valor if you want. It doesn't really matter, but at least HP attack if you're going to use her for right now. At least to farm out some more gems, because you're going to need to farm them out. And then you have your Wood Loki. He does have defense down and sleep, but you might be better off just building Wood Miho instead for that defense down versus him, because she does come with a stun as well. While she doesn't bring too much damage to the table, she does have a lot of utility, so that's something to keep in mind. But defense, HP, defense, that gem set's actually pretty okay for him. I'm not going to rag you for that. It's pretty okay. Just get them increased if you are bent on using him. Make sure you get those gems up. Obviously aim for some high resist subs in the future. Wood Boltwing, not really worth the investment. He's just far too squishy. But if you were going to run him, I would do HP attack defense. Not really HP attack, because I don't feel like he has enough defense to warrant him going full glass without him just dying. So keep that in mind. I don't really find much use for Wood Cupid either, so feed him to the fire one. Wood Neza, again, not much use because that seal is just piss poor. that still is just bad. 60% chance for 1 turn. There's plenty of other mons that can get seal for 100% for 3 turns or 2 turns even, or even 80% seal for 1 turn. So definitely not worth the investment either. Alright, so moving on, you might just be working on getting these mons to Evo 3. Definitely nothing wrong with that, so I'll continue to let you do that. Looks like you have Evo 3 Kiki at the moment. I don't really find purification useful, so in my opinion, just hold off on her right now. Maybe put her in storage, maybe somewhere it's actually useful in the game. Others out there, if you do have a water Kiki or any mon of purification, please let me know in the comments below. That way B can also check it out and see if it's worth keeping. If not, just go ahead and release her. Water Lupin. What does he have? Adrenaline and sleep. Just feed into probably Fire Lupin instead. Then your Water Mona, the moneymaker over here. Not even level 40 yet, but triple square master race, crit rate, HP. You might have just been throwing gem slots on her, but if you are going to use her, depending on your B8 team, then she needs to be HP attack or just triple attack, in my opinion. But definitely worth the investment. Definitely worth the investment for B8, because if you're not running B8, you ain't making no money. You're working on your Yaksha as well. She does have a level 6 lead. Definitely not bad, but with Stalker, she has essentially 40% crit rate. So throw her on Ruin with a crit rate gem, and then I would say just do double attack, make her full glass, and you could actually bring her into B8 instead of Mona if you want. And she should hit harder, but I mean, if they kill them on, they kill them on, so it doesn't really matter too much. And she does have an AoE as well. Water Sura, looks like you're working on him as well. Crit rate, defense. He's not being built properly. Never ever use 2 crit rate gems on anything in this game. Never use a resist gem. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, man. Not even once. Not even once. But in order to hit that max crit rate on him, I would do intuition, HP defense maybe, or HP defense. Crit rate, HP. It depends on however you want to build him. Crit rate, HP attack if you want. Crit rate, attack if you want. It just depends on how you want to build him. But his crit needs to be max, or his stun is going to be useless. So keep that in mind, and by not having his crit rate max, sometimes his stun might work, sometimes it won't. You want to make sure it works all the time, because you're just factoring another situation of RNG where, okay, is this stun going to work? Or is this stun going to work and be resisted? Or is this stun not going to be work when it could have been resisted? You're just adding in another excess layer to RNG when you could prevent it. So that orange just isn't worth the squeeze at all. Then looks like you got a water Shawujing, which I think is actually my first time seeing him in IRL, at least on my computer screen. So congrats on that. You're probably just better off feeding him to someone. I don't really find resistance down too useful. It in theory does sound useful, but I can honestly say I don't have much advice for that. So to any out there with a Shawujing, or anyone out there using mons that do resistance down, please let us know where you use them at, just so we can give a better idea of if he's worth investing in or not. But you know, at the moment, just hold on to him for now. Don't worry about him. Come back to him later. Wood Banshee, not worth the time. Not worth the time. Looks like you got 2 Sun Wukongs, which is nice. And you got this one on a Ruin set. 8 attack, recovery, HP. You might have just been throwing that in there to complete the set, which is what a lot of people do for some reason. Take that gem off of him and give him attack if you are going to use him. So run him HP, attack. Set doesn't really matter. Valor might be more beneficial towards him, because crit does help his damage, but it's not necessarily needed. So I would probably just do Valor, especially him not having a square slot, which he doesn't need. He doesn't need it. If you end up pulling a Fire Sun Wukong, you'll probably end up investing into him anyways if you're going to get into Titan. So he's just going to be food in the long run anyways. Bast. Another pretty much Titan mon right here. HP, defense, resist. Take that resist gem off and just give her recovery. Or you could do HP defense. There's a couple other guys that build them without recovery because you do have her on a recovery set. But I would just change that gem to either HP or defense as soon as possible because it's not benefiting her at all. And you might not use her right now, but if you're interested in Titans, she could be very, very useful. And maybe somewhere in Tower of Chaos, if you need a debuffer, she could be useful there as well as healing the squad. So do keep that in mind. Then you have a Water Sanzang, who is a defense aggressor, which you do have triple defense on her for that, so kudos to you. She does have a little bit of resist and some crit rate that you're working on, so keep going on with that. Aim for those high crit rate subs and most importantly resist subs, and her gems are perfectly fine. And then we have Water Garuda over here. Not sure if you're going to invest in him or not. I would personally just hold off. I would just hold off right now because I don't think he's worth it. In my opinion. But if you are going to build him, just do HP attack if you are going to invest in him. I just don't think he's worth it. Then Water Artemis, so you do have a sapper for B10. Congrats on that. You have her HP attack perfectly fine. You could switch her to a Valor set for more DPS, which is what my Artemis, well actually Artemis is on. I have another one on a Siphon set, but you could switch her over to Valor for more DPS from her raw attack, but her main job is to sap, which scales off the monster's HP and not her attack. I don't know if you knew that, but just making sure someone out there watching this video knows that. Other than that, she's perfectly fine. Get her to Evo 2 when you can at level 60. Should that be priority number 1 at the moment? No, but you do have a potential mon for your B10 team. Same thing with this Sun Wukong. Just follow my advice on the other one. Kira, more of a Titans mon, but you do have her on a recovery set. Defense, HP, defense. That's fine. Switch out the defense gem on her with a percentage defense gem and not a flat defense gem, and that's perfectly fine. More Titans orientated, so worry about that after you can do the golems. Then you have a Wet Purse, which you have a defense gem on her, defense and HP. Gem of Life, good set on her, but her gems are not good at all. I would just do triple HP in my opinion. Do triple HP on life or triple HP on protection if you want more defense on her, but run her triple HP, aim for high resist subs. She's going to be a good passive healer for you in B10 if you need it, at least in the beginning. And her move Adrenaline, she's like the best passive healer in the game, so the more HP that she has, the more that she can passively heal everyone every single turn. So do keep that in mind. She needs HP for her move to do what it needs to do. If you don't have HP, she's just a poor man passive healer. She's like a light Gemini at that point. Looks like you're working on a Wet Yuki as well. Defense, triple defense. Maybe give her an HP gem instead of one of those defense gems. Not saying that she's going to die anyways, but again, another potential sapper for you for B10. I would probably pick Water Artemis over her though, because Water Artemis just has naturally more higher attack, which means she should clear out the waves in B10 a slightly faster than Water Yuki. So do keep that in mind. You have a variant Wet Barona, again another good Sea Striker mon. If you're going to use her for Titans, which you should, if you're going to do Titans, HP attack. Leech set would be best, but we're not there yet. But HP attack. Don't worry about investing in her right now though. We need your Golem team set. Then this is your other Mona that you have. So you do have more than one Mona. You have defense HP. She's an attacker type. Take these gems off. You're not doing yourself any justice. Take all of these. Actually, keep the HP gem up there if you want, but take both of those defense gems off and run her HP attack. Her main job is to kill the mobs in B8, and she shouldn't be dying anyways, especially with her skill booked up. Switch that as soon as possible. Just like right after this video. Right after you see this video. It needs to go like now. And then lastly, we have your fire mons. So we'll start over here instead. Fire Miho, you have her with recovery gem, HP, and resist. Take off the recovery, take off the resist. It is doing you and no one else any good. Never put a resist gem on a mon, and never put a recovery gem on a mon that doesn't have moves like Water Kira or any other mon that is like a tank type but doesn't really have the tank skill set. She doesn't need recovery. Her main selling point is attack down, and her HP siphon does heal the squad, but she's like kind of like a beginner-ish Titans mon in my opinion, because there's better choices that you can have in the future. So stop investing in her right now. Like, I'm not saying get rid of her, but let her go right now. Do not focus on this mon right now. Do not focus. Fire Miho is a trap. She is a beginner player trap. She's just a trap. She's like an investment that doesn't get you anywhere for a good portion of the beginning of the game. Then you got your Fire Eileo over here. He does have a square slot, which is wonderful. Throw him on intuition as soon as you can. Intuition with crit rate, attack. He needs max crit in order to take advantage of his hunter, but a good fire nuker. So continue to build him up and skill book him when you can, but definitely continue to build him up because you can use him in your B9 team. And then you also have a Fire Zubaji, which you have a defense gem on her, attack and defense. Just give her HP, attack. Take these 2 defense gems off. You might have just been filling her slots because it being open just bothers you. But HP, attack. Take full advantage of her predator. Again, this is a mon that you could use in your B9 team as well at the moment until you pull the wood one if you're going to do Titans. But HP, attack for this one. Hades, not worth the investment. He is triple square master race, but curse, you need 4 mons with curse for it to be even anywhere near viable, and it's just easier to run a sapper or 2 in golems B10 than to run 4 mons with curse. I mean, it's just that simple. I'm not sure if running 4 mons with curse gives us a lower time in B10 versus running sappers. I'm sure someone in the comments below can confirm that, but at the moment, just wait for another Hades. Shiva, he does have that 100% chance for stun for 1 turn, so you might need to hold on to him because I didn't see a Fire Arthur in your party or in your box, and it doesn't look like you have any other reputable fire stunners, so I would say hold on to him at the moment. You may need to Evo 2 him in the future, but just hold on to him at the moment because you may need a fire stunner in the future, so just hold on right now. Just hold on. Fire Gemini, just stop building her. She's not worth it. I have a level 61 on a Valor set, and her damage is just gag me with a machete. It's just not good at all. It's that orange just isn't worth the squeeze. Just stop building her. Just give up. Just give up. I'm telling you right now. I've done it myself. It was a waste of resources. She's not worth it. Then you have a Fire Wildfang with a square slot. You can build her any numerous ways. For her, I would say crit rate, attack, or triple HP. You don't really need, not triple HP. I keep saying that. Triple attack. Crit rate, attack, or triple attack on her. You don't really need an HP gem because she can sustain herself quite easily with her skills. And if she's hitting very, very hard, that means she's healing herself very, very hard as well. So not really worth running her with HP. Take full advantage of her damage and just focus on that. Then you have a Fire John, whatever. Is she worth Evo 3ing for the Astro Gems? Yes. Is she worth building? No. Fire Kira. Is she worth building? Yes. You don't need to build her with crit rate. If you want, you can build her with crit rate. It's not necessary. But her main selling point is her shield at level 60. And again, she's a Titans mon. So defense, recovery. Take one of those, at least take one of those recovery gems off and give her HP. Some people like to, not use any recovery gems on any recovery mons. That's up to them. But I would say at least take one of those recovery gems off and give her HP. Is she a worthwhile investment for you at the moment? No. We need to focus on your Golem teams first, which I'm glad that you actually let me look at your account right now to give you a better idea of what you should be working on and what your future goals should be. So I know Tower of Chaos is like a no for you at the moment, but don't worry, man. Don't worry. We got you. We got you. So for your B7 team, your future B7 team, I would run your Odin in there if possible. I would run your Loki in there. Your Dark Mona, if you can get her with a square slot conversion, that would be great. You might need Hana for heals. Hannah, whatever the heck you want to call her. And then we need another nuker. I don't want to put Boltwing in there because he's just so darn flimsy. He's so freaking flimsy. But you could potentially bring in your Dark Sea Star if needed. Other than that, I mean, you might need to build a Wood Miho instead and run Wood Miho in here as well, because you don't really have that many wood bonds that are great. But this is just a template for you to see what you could run for a potential B7 team. Once you do run B7, I would at least try to get my mons to level 60 when you can after B8 and get them to Evo 2 and have at least their gems at +9 or +12. Doesn't really matter if they're 4-star gems or 5-star gems, but at least +9 or +12 gems, and level 60 Evo 2 if you can. If not, Evo 1 level 60 is far better than Evo 1 level 50. So that might be a potential B17 for you. If you pull any other mons, feel free to hit me up on Discord and we can change that. But this is just a potential. You can use other mons. If you want to throw Tiger in there, you can do it. I'm not saying that you have to follow this, but you can if you want. I don't know if you have you do have quite a bit of Mowgli's here as well, which I did not mention. But if you have a Wood Mowgli, which you don't, I was going to say if you have a Wood Mowgli, you could bring her in here at Evo 2 minimum, and she still should be able to do all kinds of work for you. And then I see this is your B8 team. You don't need Purse. I don't know why I took Sun Wukong out. You don't necessarily need him, but it doesn't really hurt to have him in there right now. But you could run double Wukongs and then double Monas, and that should be your B8 squad. Or like you had before, you could actually keep Artemis in there and run this for your B8 squad. And your time with but with all of your mons at level 60 Evo 2 minimum and your Monas at Evo 3, gem properly and booked up both of them, your time should be a minute. It might be a minute and 5, minute and 10 max, but your time should be close to a minute, which B8 is the #1 moneymaker for anyone in the game. Anyone, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be me, so you could be Eileo, you could be Jamin, you could be Demon's Dragon, you could be, you know, Moonswirl. Whoever's trying to make money in MSL, they're running B8 unless they have just an OP B9 team. Well, not B9 team, but B10 team, which runs it in like 45 seconds, which I don't even have. So this is your #1 moneymaker. I would focus on this first. Get these mines built up. Focus on this first. You're going to get a whole bunch of access to a whole bunch of square slots. I mean, not square slots, but square gems. And most importantly, you're going to get access to a lot more money, which allows you to slime, which allows you to book other mons, which allows you to ascend other mons, which allows you to gem other mons, which allows you to invest into other golems, which allows you to gem other mons, to build other mons, to do golems B9, and to do golems B10, and then you move over to dragons, and then you move over to the story. Then congratulations, you're in Colossus. Congratulations, you're in PvP. Congratulations, that's over with. That's done. So this is your potential B8 squad. I would recommend this squad. Definitely build them up as soon as you can. For B9, I would recommend Leo. You could throw in Zubaji. You can throw in Shiva if you want, if you please. And maybe Fire Wild Fang. If you don't have enough DPS to clear it out, like if they're dying still with them, feel free to invest into a Fire Mowgli instead of Fire Shiva. At least Evo 2 minimum and level 60 and booked up. Evo 3 would be best, but you could be using her somewhere else, like the Water Golem, like I just mentioned earlier. But if your squad's still dying with this team, invest into a Fire Cupid even at Evo 2 level 60. Invest into him, and he should be able to carry this team through. And the good part is, later on in the game, once you get these mons built up, you can throw them over to dragons as well. You might need to switch 1 or 2 of these mons out, but your dragons team with Cupid up there should be pretty much stable. So you should be able to run it with little to no issues, maybe a revive here or there, but that will give you access later on in the game to siphon sets, pugilist sets, and stuff like that. So that's something to look forward to. And for a future B10 team, this is in the future now. You are picking Light Odin, I believe, so you can either run Light Odin or your Light Nike, which I already passed. But you can run your Light Nike in there, and then you do have Water Artemis as your sapper. You can bring Persephone as your healer, and then we need a decent wave clearer, which I would say would be your Dark Mona, but she doesn't have a square slot, so rest in peace to that. But you could still bring her, just make sure she has some good intuition gems. And she might need to be HP attack for that. And that should be your potential B10 squad. Of course, you can feel free to choose someone else like your Wet Mona that might be more invested in and more probably built at that point in time. But eventually, once you get other mons, you should be able to get rid of your purse and just run a wave clearer like your Dark Mona, and then 2 sappers. So your Wet Artemis and Wet Miho or your Wet Yuki, you could run this team and everyone should survive, but you're going to need very, very good gems. Everyone needs to be level 60 and Evo 3 minimum, and just overall, you know, properly built mons. But that could be your potential B10 team in the future. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. You are 2 to 3 months away from that. 2 to 3 months away from that. But make sure you run golems. By you investing in all of these different mons and getting them to level 60 and Evo 2, you should eventually get to a point where you can do Tower of Chaos and at least half of it, if not get to 80 and 100. But you will need a CC'er, you will need a mon that can do defense down, and you will need a nuke. So if you could somehow pick up a Dark Lucy right now, even at Evo 1 or Evo 2, that could do you some good justice. But if not, there's other mons I'm sure that you'll come across and that you'll end up pulling that you can still do Tower of Chaos. But you're not ready for Tower of Chaos yet. Focus on B8, focus on ascending the other mons for your other teams and getting those gemmed up as well. And once we get a stable gem team for you, then we can focus if you want to do Titans, if you want to do clan versus clan, PvP and stuff like that. But we need to make sure you're getting money. We need to make sure you have mons that are leveled to level 60 and skill booked and gem properly, and then the game opens up from there. But that's pretty much it for this review. Let me go over here to the fusion tab real quick though, just to show you that you can fuse Victorias. They're not cheap. They're 300k a pop, but you can fuse them through the fusion line over here, and all you need to do is get a Beth and a Katine, and then a Seedler and a Arc. Get both of these to Evo 2 and then fuse it into a Victoria. It's a long process, but once you get a Light Nike, there's no going back, man. There's no going back. You know, in the meantime, focus on B8. If you can get your Light Nike to Evo 3 and 10k defense before you get Light Odin, no big deal. If not, focus on B7 through B9 until you get your Light Odin. Get her to Evo 2, put her on triple HP, and then you have your light tank. So just take out Victoria and that B10. What would I call it? The B10 template that I gave you. Switch out your Light Vic for Odin, and that should be your B10 team. Again, all of this is just advice. You don't have to follow it. I do hope you take into consideration some of it. And that's pretty much it for your account. I mean, you're making progress. I would definitely like to review it in the future, but As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I definitely hope this helps. If you want an account review done, hit me up on Discord. I do have a lot of them scheduled, but I will get to it when I can, and we can either do it recording wise or live stream wise. It's really up to you and whatever time that we can do it. But peace out, you guys. Stay